On the show today, we're going to be talking about goat and sheep farming. We are in Namubiru Village in Mukono District at Sinza Goat Farm. Sinza Farm is a premier goat, sheep and dog breeding farm, and what they do is they help farmers all over East Africa to source the best when it comes to pure genetics. Together, let's learn about goat and sheep farming. Welcome to Enkumbi Telimba. Biosecurity. There you go, some sanitizer. Mr. Kenneth, it's a pleasure finally meeting you.
My pleasure too, sir.
We look forward to learning from you more about the work you're doing here, and who knows, tomorrow I might be the next sheep, goat and dog breeder just like you.
We'll share our passion.
Thank you.
Farming and breeding goats and sheep. My name is Kenneth Mugayehwenkyi, the CEO of Sinza Breeding, the breeders of Boer goats, Dopa sheep, and importers of livestock into Uganda. For the last 2 years, we are the biggest private livestock importer, helping many farmers to get excellent genetics to use in their breeding programs. I have always loved livestock and animals, but I also, in part of my work, I travel a lot. My other work, running a charity. So during COVID, I could not travel to USA and other places because of the restrictions. Then I wanted to be busy, so I had to make sure that my farm is a better farm so that I can spend time on the farm. And I had a few goats that I was raising here, crossbreeds. I put them on the social media and people bought them so quickly for a hefty amount of money. Then I realized goats can make money. And somebody said because they were a bit exotic, but they were actually not fully pure. Then I discovered that means if I breed pure goats, I could make more money. So I looked around the country for purebred Boer goats. I couldn't find any. My desire was to breed purebred goats so that I could make money from them. But when I looked around, I couldn't find any. I was told different farms, I went there, they were all crosses. So I decided then, why don't I find the purebred goats that I wanted? I wanted Boer goats. And I learned that they were from South Africa. So I went with a group of farmers in South Africa, and we brought the first lot of purebred Boer goats. Personally, I bought only one male, mobile money, and 2 females. When we brought them into the country, everybody was asking, where did you find these goats from? When they asked for them, I thought, if I breed more, then I can help more farmers by producing them locally. And since then, our farm has grown to probably 80 purebred females and 5 males of goats. This one is Mobile Money. Mobile Money is our oldest Boer goat male here. He's 3.5 years. And we call him Mobile Money because he really makes money move around.
I can touch?
You can touch him. He's gentle. Mobile Money is gentle. Mobile Money, we think, is just about 100 kilograms now. He does not miss in his breeding. If you give him any females up to 30, within a month they are all bred.
All of them?
All of them, in 1 month.
Wow. Just
make sure that the number of females you give him is equal to 1 female per day. But often he does more than 1 female per day. But in here you will see a strange goat, the only goat that is black. That looks like a Mvende goat, but actually it's called a blackberry goat. It's also a meat goat. We are experimenting with it to see if they will be more adaptable than these in our conditions. So we only have 2 and they have a male. So we'll see over the years if it is better. The other breeds of meat goats that I told you, which is Kalahari Red and Savannah, we don't have on this farm. We don't breed them, but we import them for other farmers. We also breed dairy goats. Trump, some of you who will see Trump is over there, is a dairy male. We also breed dairy goats. You can see his name.
On the tag, yes.
On the tag. He is a dairy male. And he's our breeding male also for our dairy females, which you will see. He's a son-in breed. And the reason we call him Trump is because he's very aggressive. He goes and gets what he wants, just like Trump, the president. we began breeding dairy goats because the meat goats produce many kids. Sometimes they don't have enough milk. And kids being our business, we don't want to lose any kid and want them to grow fast. So I brought here dairy goats, feed the kids of the meat goats which do not have enough milk. Then I realized some of these goats are giving me 5 liters a day, better than any local cow. They eat half the food. And then when friends learned about it, they started asking me for similar goats. So I'm breeding also dairy goats.
I see sheep as well.
So these are white doppers, and we are breeding these also.
Okay, so you can use the same pen to breed
sheep
and the goats.
It should have its own pen, but we don't have sufficient space. For that reason, we know that sheep will not mount goats. Dopper sheep are known for their meat, good quality meat and growth rate. As I told you, this is the 1-year-old sheep, the other one is a 3-year-old sheep.
Mabuno,
yes. The farm has grown to over 40 dopper sheep, purebred also. But most importantly, we have helped many farmers to bring in purebred animals. In the last 2 years, I brought into this country to different farms over 2,000 goats and sheep. We need to protect our animals. This high value, either from wild animals or from the 2-legged animals. So we learned from South Africa that there are dogs which are bred to herd animals and protect them. So we have since brought in Anatolian Shepherds. These Anatolian Shepherds can ruthlessly protect your animals. They would die for your animals. So we brought in these animals. We put them in pens where our goats are. They adopt that family as their own, and they protect that family from both the 2-legged or human beings who can steal, as well as animals. They have been known to protect goats and sheep from animals as fierce as cheetahs. They will lay down, as one of our friends said, their life for their family. And their family is our goats and our sheep. So we have brought them in. We are experimenting. We see how they will do. Then we multiply them so that when a farmer buys goats from us, we can also make available these herding dogs, Anatolian Shepherd or kangaroos, to help them. Many Ugandans will raise their animals in big pastures and they'll go off. You never know what they find there. I know our vision. It is to be the premier genetics provider, pure, well-bred genetics for goats and sheep. We get animals which grow fast, which convert the food we give them into weight gain, animals which have good temperament that are easy to manage, animals which fit in our weather and conditions. To convert these genetics into productivity, we feed them right. For example, this sheep is eating hay, and the sons are eating hay as well. We make sure that these animals have access to grass all the time. Grass should be there all the time. But we also have a supplement of feed we give them. It's a mixture of grain and soy and minerals, just so that we can give enough energy and enough protein and enough minerals and vitamins. So this is for the mixed feed. You know, goats generally, they're browsers. As browsers, they put their arms up to eat. So we put here feed for them so they can put their arms here to eat. Yeah, it's their practice. They climb up, they eat from here, and this is mostly for that supplemental feed. One of the aspects of management that people don't think about is when do you breed, for example, your animals. So we decide that we breed animals at an optimum time. A time when we know that they're in good health condition and they will produce normally in the dry season, because the dry season is safer for livestock. You've seen our males are by themselves. The females are by themselves. This is purposeful because we intend to breed them at a certain time, but also to breed a certain animal with a certain animal. So this dairy goats are sunning. You can see the same color as Trump. Gave us 4 kids. Those are children of Trump. Ideally we would milk it, but this time we will not milk it because we want its kids to get enough milk. This one gave us 3. So this is a maternity, and what you want in a maternity is first protect it from, again, wind and rain. You see, this is the building that has brick walls. The rest have wooden walls. So we want it to be thicker so that the risk of cold coming through is less. Each of the goats will have its own pen to have the privacy to kid, but also to bond with its kids. So the first 4 to 5 days, they'll be in here so that they can each be with their own babies. We bring in a goat when we think it's about to kid. Just like you take a mother to maternity. Atuso kuzala mumutwale. Kateno twajire sechiro. This morning it gave us 3. When these ones are done, we take them out, we clean up, we bring another set. This is our maternity. I know people who keep males and females, and then they didn't know it was going to give birth. We know when our goats are going to give birth. This week, 10 goats are giving birth. We know it. This week, we are not sleeping. We have, I would call it a birth certificate, a pedigree certificate for every animal here. So we know each animal's father and mother, when it was born, we keep the records of how much weight they are gaining. That helps us in many ways. It helps us to breed, stop inbreeding. In life, inbreeding is dangerous. It reduces quality. That's why a Venchima cannot kwasa Venchima. So you cannot breed animals related and expect good results. Sometimes I think even our own cows and goats are probably of the same quality or superior quality, but we didn't pay attention enough. We've been inbreeding them. The male mounts the father, the mother, the daughter, the sister. Who cares? And then the quality keeps going down. We also have a vet. We have an on-call vet. This morning, we had triplets being born, and there was an issue of breach. They called him. He helped the goats to kid. If we didn't have him, we would have lost 3 kids and the mother. What I have learned actually in all this, my house is only 5 minutes to walk to the farm. You called me in 5 minutes, I was here. That helps me do supervision. In Uganda, especially Uganda, telephone farming is the way. You're successful, see you in Kampala with telecom company, wherever you have money, you buy a piece of land, you put workers there and animals, and you think you'll succeed. I encourage you, if you want to farm, if you can, be on the farm. The biggest challenge to goat and sheep farming in this country is worms. A walk, as they call it. Though we have a beautiful green country, we are sadly a moist country. Moisture is a bedrock for worms. Worms cause malnutrition, cause anemia, kills goats. We lose most of our animals to worms. That's more than 50% of the losses is worms. And we don't think it is that serious. We underestimate it. With worms, what we are learning is to create animals which can thrive even with worms, because this country has a lot of worms. We have been deworming with routine, but we've learned that that's not going to help us, because how many times will you deworm? Every time it rains, the goat touches the ground. So we are trying to find ways of reducing or preventing worms affecting our animals. One, we avoid our animals from eating on the ground. That's why we have hay, because the worms are on the ground. Because here we don't have enough shrubs, animals should be eating shrubs which are up, worms don't climb up, worms are in the ground. So we prevent worm infestation by browsing in shrubs and hay. But where we can't, we remove all the grass from the ground so they don't touch there. We give them the grass that doesn't have worms. We sanitize the grounds where these animals are. So when we deworm, we know that they may excrete eggs of worms. So when we deworm from this ground, we take the goats away. We keep them there for like 2 weeks. They excrete all the worms. We take them away to another pasture or pen that has less concentration. Here we kill them by using agricultural lime. It reduces the pH, they die. Maybe after a month we return them here. The other preventive means is to make sure you don't have ticks. Ticks are the ones which transmit heart, water, and other diseases. So we spray our goats weekly. Even when they stay mostly in intensive care, we do spray them weekly. So here we sell our animals at 8 months.
Okay.
At 8 months, it's ready to breed. It has grown at 60% of its body weight. We used to sell goats at 4 months, 6 months, because people push you they want them, they need them so quickly, and for them they think they are grown. But then we discovered a new farmer does not know practices. If you sell them too young, they stunt. So they lose weight because of new area, new feed, new things. So we decided at 8 months, we'll sell you a goat for breeding. At 8 months, a male at Sinza Goats is 3 million, and a female is 2 million. Now, that for some people sounds like a big price. But remember, we are not selling meat here. Here we are selling seed or genetics, so that you as a local goat or another goat can now start getting the same growth rate And if you have it in big numbers, you can sell a lot of meat faster. So far, importing has been most profitable. Just like trading, you bring the goat, it doesn't stay long on your farm, you sell it, and you make money quickly. But what it has also enabled me to do is to build my farm to what is sustainable. What is sustainable is to produce these breeds in country, because half of the cost of the goat I sell now when imported is because I'm importing it. It's because of freight, because of vet inspections and all that, which makes it expensive. Now, to make these genetics available to Ugandans, we are committed, first, produce them locally. And now we are able to produce 100 goats locally, which we sell for half the price of imports. Over 100 farmers now in country can also produce them. So very soon, we think as a country we'll have enough for the Ugandan farmers to improve their animals, but also the region is looking at Uganda as the go-to place for meat, goats, and sheep. Every day, I receive more than 5 messages, calls from Kenya, Tanzania, Congo, and Rwanda. We have a fairly balanced weather. Livestock, both for meat and dairy, will make this country wealthy.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Enkumbi Telimba. This has definitely been a fantastic one because it's the first time that we are visiting a goat farm. And one other interesting thing that we took note of is for the first time we have been on a farm where we have herding dogs. Where have you heard of that? It's the first time we are seeing this. And these guys, they would do anything to protect their family. And the family in this case is the sheep and goat that they take care of. In Uganda, what we call okuyuwawo or mubiri. So please remember to subscribe, like, and share this content because together we are on a journey of learning more about agriculture and inspiring more people to get into this space. Remember, Enkumbi Telimba.